Alright, I think I have everything set up. What does that look like? Alright. How's everybody doing tonight? My name's Sean, I run mailworks.com, and I'm working on some saddlebag covers for my Road King. Hanging out, making some chainmail, and getting some work done. What is everyone else up to tonight? So far, I've got 4 of these stainless steel diamonds, right, on one side. And the one side is not fitted. The other side is fitted, mostly. And I've got to put a 4th diamond on that one, so I'm going to attach this little section here, and maybe one more. And I've kind of been working on this for the last few hours, but you know, one ring at a time, and eventually it will get done. Once I get both sides with 4 diamonds looking the same, they're mirrored, so I got to make sure that they fit the saddlebags correctly. You want to get into chainmail? If you go to my link tree, there is an app called the Mailworks app for Google and Apple, and it's a app chock full of all the resources I wish I would have had when I first got started doing this 27 years ago. So that's a great place to start. It's got where to find tutorials, where to find ring manufacturers, where to find other, what do you call them? Other chainmail artists, a list of chainmail artists, and just a bunch of resources to help new people out, basically. The purpose of this is going to go on top of the lid to my saddlebags, right? So that's going to be the top, and it's going to be decorative weight additions is basically what it is. Bot viewers, no one's liking the live. Maybe everyone hates me. You could like the live. I don't know, I just got started, so I've got 2 likes so far. There's at least 2 people, and that's fine. So for everyone watching, I am streaming on all the other platforms that you would normally stream on, that you would normally find people streaming on. So consider, if you want a different view, going over to, say, Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, finding me under the same username. And right now, I'm connecting these 2 sections. Troop Treasure, thank you for the follow. James Dowd, thank you for the follow. Oh, you know what? I'm mostly done attaching that section, and now I'm going to attach this. First one side, then the other. Let me undo this. Josh, thank you for the follow. See, there's some real people here. But please do like the live, follow the host, share the stream, tell your friends. Chainmail is one of those things that not a lot of people do. It's a really cool art form. And I need my overhead light. Introverted hobbyist, thank you for the rose. Okay, oh, okay. Thank you for the share. This is oh yeah, it's a great hobby. It's a great art form. It's a fun way to make cool stuff. If you need a gift, it's great to just be able to make one. Like I said, I've been doing this for about 27 years. And I've made some pretty cool stuff over the years. I by no means am an expert, but I'm pretty good at what I do. Greg, thank you for the follow. Pookie, thank you for the follow. Pookie? What's the sound? Pookie's not here. Pookie is missing. How many times have you been tagged in that sound? I can't even imagine. Did you know you were missing? Did you find out on the internet like the rest of us? All right. So there's a lot to chainmail. I'm using butted rings, which is just rings where the ends butt together. They're not connected by any force. They're not riveted. They're not welded, right? There are welded rings, riveted rings, split rings, theta rings. What do you call them? Half round rings that people use. And there are a lot of interlocking pieces of metal that interlock in patterns, but the one that is chainmail is when it's a ring, right? That's pretty much the standard. So you'll see a lot of like flattened Byzantine machine-made chains in a mall kiosk, and it looks like Byzantine, but it's, you know, it's been smashed. Those are not considered rings or chainmail. They're made a little bit different. They're made using a little bit different method. Hi, Jessica. I'm making saddlebag covers for my Road King. So this is going to go on the lid of my saddlebag. And then once I have them both done, I will use some leather cord to, let's see, where is it at? This stuff here, to secure it to the top of the saddlebags. Did you create the loops or buy them pre-cut? So most everything that I have are manufactured by the Ring Lord a long time ago. I will be getting back into making my own rings here soon. I just gotta spend the money to invest in the proper setup for saw cut rings, and it's the rings that I've made before. Smoking Dragon, thank you for the follow. The rings that I made before were hand cut with a pair of small, essentially bolt cutters, and I was using galvanized steel, and the cuts were terrible, the rings were terrible, and I was fortunate enough to find the Ring Lord while I was deployed back in 2004, and I ordered a bunch of rings, and after that I was like, I'm never making my own rings again. But I'm getting to the point where the projects that I'm making require specific ring sizes, and I want to be able to coil some up and cut them myself. So these are all the black and stainless, and the regular stainless, all in this image is all from the Ring Lord. How long does it take you to make one of these? Well, I cheated, right? All the black and stainless was part of a chainmail shirt that I was making. I started working on this project at the beginning of Christmas break, so we're 3 weeks into it now, and I've got one essentially done. But I had a lot of family stuff going on during Christmas break, and I thought I would be done with these by now, to be honest, and being ready to secure them to the saddlebags. So, figure 3 to 4 hours a day, every other day for how long? 3 weeks is what I got into it so far. So, let's say 40 hours for 2 of them. And they're almost done, right? If I had to weave it all from the beginning, right? If I didn't have anything already made that I was sacrificing for this project, then it would have taken me a lot longer to weave all of these rings together. But most of this is like, I remove a section, size it appropriately, and then move it to the next one. No, it's saddlebags for my Road King, for my motorcycle. We're going to do the saddlebags. We're going to do the toolkit. I'm going to make a bib for the gas tank and cover that in chainmail. And then, seeing how what my tax return looks like, I'm going to remove the side panels, the gas tank, the front and rear fenders, and I'm going to have them hydro dipped in a chainmail pattern. And I will have a chainmail themed bike. I should do the headlight too. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. You picture me jousting on some horses? Yeah. I actually had someone in here asking me about making armor for their horses. I was like, I pointed them in the right direction. That is so not my skill set. I could probably pull it off, but the last thing I would want to do is make something that would be, that would harm someone's animal. You know what I mean? Wow. What did I do here? Oh, I see. Tarzan here. Oh, I see. That's a very specific scene in the Disney movie when Tarzan meets Jane. And she's learning that he does not speak English. And he's copying her. She says, oh, I see. And he goes, oh, I see. Anyway. I was wondering where I screwed up. And I found it. That's what I saw. Oh, we put... Okay, that's okay. I don't need to finish that. We can do this. So, Rick, thanks for the follow. Yeah, let me grab my saddlebag here. I'll show you. Whoa. Come on, come here. Alright, it's not quite sized correctly, but you'll get the idea here. This is my saddlebag, and that's essentially what it's going to look like. I'm going to add one more diamond up front here, and then this is a little wonky still. I got to size that correctly, right? And it'll all be secured using some leather cord. For my Road King, for my motorcycle. My motorcycle. Trying to do the whole bike. And it's going to be cool when it's done. Don't get me wrong, it's cool now. But we're going to make it cooler. How many projects like this have I done? I've never done saddlebags before. I've done a lot of bottle wraps and coffee cup wraps. I've made a few shirts. Made a bunch of jewelry. A couple of inlays. So I've done many projects this size. You thought it was just for the horse, the lance. Do you still have anything you can show us that's finished? I have lots of stuff that's finished that I can show you. Just depends on what's... trying to think of a large project in reach. I don't have anything like... Okay. This is a dice bag I just finished recently. It's got a nice elf weave trim across the top. It's filled with 550 cord right now. I gotta take a video of it. Come here. Some of the jewelry that I make. Here's another project I'm working on. Hey Astrid, how you doing? Yeah, dice bag for like D&D. So I'm working on this inlay. It says Finnegan's. It's gonna say Finnegan's Wake. So I need to work on this. So that's really all the stuff that's within reach. I've got a jelly cube here I'm working on that I just ordered a bunch of rings for. So you can see the top's not even, right? For anyone. And it's very jelly. We're gonna make this bigger. Oh, shinies. Oh my god, that is gorgeous. Thank you so much. Oh my god. For bigger stuff, I'd have to get up and go get it. And I will if you want me to, but whatever my audience requires. So that's, you know, like I said, I've been doing this for 27 years. Not straight. There's been several breaks in there, but how big am I making the cube? I don't know yet. I have a large rubber band ball that's like 9 inches in diameter, and the latex is rotting because it's, you know, several years old now, and I want to replace this large rubber band ball with what do you call it? A jelly cube as large. You want to see one of my shirts? They're all on stands right now. If you give me a second, I can go get one. I can show you my motorcycle vest. That was a pretty fun project, pretty complex. Callista, thank you for the follow. So give me 2 seconds and I can I'll see what I can grab. Oh wow, that's heavy. All right. So I like to grab the vest when people ask about it. This is a leather vest with chainmail over the top, and this is the leather braiding I'll be using to secure the piece I'm working on to the saddlebags. Razmataz, easier format for you than TikTok. How you doing? So this is the leather cording I'm going to be using to secure the saddlebags to secure the chainmail to the saddlebags. The cube would also last a lot longer, yes. So that's one large project I've done. All Japanese 12 and 2 with Byzantine vest extenders and Byzantine side chains. This is a 44-ounce beer stein I did very early on in my chainmail career. It's got Rondo a la Byzantine on top, Japanese 12 and 2 in the middle, and Rondo a la Byzantine on the bottom. For anyone looking, got the Rondo, the Japanese 12 and 2, more Rondo. So it is the biggest, coolest stein in the world. And I could, if I needed to. And then here is my Bubba coffee cup. This is blackened stainless steel and regular stainless, similar to the saddlebags that I'm working with. And it's interwoven Byzantine hexagons is what it is. So see the black and stainless in between the regular stainless, and Rona, thank you. Taking dress for the slide, literally. Yes, there hopefully will not be any road burn ever, metal vest or otherwise, but all right. Where was I? So those are some of my larger projects. And I've done oh so many others. And I've given away and sold oh so much. And it's, it's one of those things, you've been doing this as long as I have, tend to collect a lot of finished projects. And a lot of this, especially lately, a lot of the stuff I've made has been, I'm using up rings and finishing projects that I've had laying around for a number of years. So there was a change in the manufacturing process at the Ring Lord. They trued up their ring sizes, meaning that a ring size with an inner diameter of 1/8 is actually 1/8, as opposed to before the ring sizes had the spring back effect when you wrap a bunch of wire around a rod to create a coil that you're going to cut into rings like a spring. That wire has tension in it, and when the tension is released, it springs back on itself. How'd you fasten it to the little canteen since you can't put holes in it to run leather straps? To this holds itself in place. The tight is tighter than the middle, and the bottom is tighter. So, same with the top holds this in place as well. I think there's a little lip in here actually that this holds itself to. So it's all held together with hopes and prayers and a little tension. So, and I don't know, I've got maybe a dozen more bottle wraps over there, and they're all held on that way, just with tension holding them. For the most part, I've never like glued or secured anything any other way. So, and I've got, you know, I just showed the Finnegan's Wake flag that I'm working on. Got to finish that. I've got the saddlebags, the whole bike actually that I'm working on. Saddlebags, the gas tank, the gas tank bib rather. And hey Riley, thanks for the roses. And is that a dinosaur? It doesn't take patience if you'd rather be doing this than anything else. Like once you get addicted to this, right? Like you don't, to hell with your relationships and family, screw them. No, I'm just kidding. I used to read books. I don't really do much of that anymore. I'm making saddlebag covers for my Road King. So give me 2 seconds here. Alright, at Scuffy. I don't know who Scuffy is, but Scuffy, you've been summoned. Alright. That's one of the many cool things you can do with mail. Or like size it perfectly for what you need. You've only made 6 jelly cubes in the last year. I made 2 or 3. The most of what I was doing though was using up rings. So like the 2 brass and bronze cubes that are interlinked, that was just me getting rid of rings. I don't need to hook that. I need to unhook that. So this is going to go on the top of my saddlebag for, who was asking? Is it Riley? Yeah. This is going to go on top of my saddlebags, and it's going to be secured by some leather cord to hold it in place. It's just going to be a big weight for fun, along with several other heavy things. Do my hands not cramp? You'd have arthritis after about 10 minutes. They do, and you have to be careful, especially if this is not something you do often, right? So I do this all the time. But when I take long breaks, getting back into it, I have to really take care of my wrists and everything. I've got a couple exercises and stretches that I do. And I'm working on a chainmail circle skirt right now. Nice. Very nice. Your latest piece. Okay. Someone else said something. Latest piece is definitely a ring hog. Doing Japanese 12 and 2 graduated neck piece. Nice. You think your estimate was 1,100 rings when completed? Nice. Stretching is your friend. Yes. Stretching and just, you know, keeping loose. Making sure that you use the right pliers for the job. Okay? These aren't great for what I'm doing, but I've had these for years, right? And so I'm just used to using them. I definitely recommend getting a little bit higher quality, more comfortable pliers. And making sure you're using the right plier for the ring size, right? So for example, if I was to try and use my Zurons on this ring size, I would very quickly develop problems, right? Did I tell you guys about my sphere that I made? I ordered ball bearings to fill this up, and I only ordered 250, and it's not full, and I'm very irritated. The right tools are worth whatever they cost. Carpal tunnel stretches every 30 to 60 minutes are good ideas. Yeah. Zerons are terrible above 18 SWG. I agree. Anything, I don't even think I use them for 18 very much. I've got a pair of Wubbers and something off the shelf from Lowe's, right? Is what I'm using. So, for 18 gauge and probably 16 gauge. This is 16 gauge right here, but I'll use these when I don't have anything else in reach. All right, absolutely. You have like 4 different sets for different projects. Yeah, that's another thing too. I saw a jewelry maker and he had like a couple dozen sets of specialty pliers, and I was like, oh wow, I could steal all of those. But I myself have several different pairs. You got a set of baby Wubbers, a set of chain nose Zerons, and a set of custom armor pliers. Yeah. You greatly prefer the armor pliers for comfort and longevity. Very nice. I've got, well, I basically just showed you all my pliers that I use typically. There is a, I forget what they're called, the perpendicular closing pliers, where you close a plier and the edges meet up along the whole length. I want a pair of those. 2 pair. Yes, the parallel pliers. Is that what they're called? And whatever they're called, I don't remember. I never do. I just know that every time I go to find some, I hem and haw, and then I don't get them. That's the style of the armorer's plier. Okay. Yeah, there's as long as you've got the right plier for the right ring size, and you're not trying to weave upside down and backwards, as you'll see me do sometimes. Then, you know, your wrists don't really get once you. It's like anything, you know, you're gonna hurt for a while at first, and once you get through being sore and your muscles develop, shouldn't bother you too much. But if you're having carpal tunnel problems, you know, take a break for a while, wait till the pain goes away, and then start again. I don't know. I've started and stopped so many times and worked through the issues so many times. I'll be like, oh, my wrist hurts, and I'll just put on my wrist brace and keep weaving. So don't do what I do, because that's a bad choice. Skylar, thank you for the follow. All right. But as with there is my sister showed me these. They're these exercise bands that I want to get. I've got them in my cart on Amazon, but once again I look at them and I hem and haw over getting them, but you use resistance bands, right? And you'll put a little ring on each finger and then do this, right? And just doing this by itself is helpful. And Cindy Riley, thank you for the follow. But with the resistance bands, right? Like I get a workout, you know, that way. It's like those squeezer thingies for your grip strength. It's like a reverse one of those, like a little. You put your finger in a little space and then it's got a resistance band. Yeah, listen to your body and take breaks as needed. You're overall a very slow weaver because you can't do more than a few hours a week. Yup. I understand that. I'm a slow weaver too, but because I'm not doing it for speed. I don't have any time limits. Like, this project needs to be done before spring. Okay, that's the only time limit I have. I need to be able to put my saddlebags back on the motorcycle. Okay, so this is kind of where I'm gonna stop for this one. This one has all 4 diamonds on there, and then I need to wrap this around and connect that seam, right? And that's just gonna go over the front of the saddlebag. But I've got to mirror these 2 outside edges, right? So I'll do that later off stream. But right now we can go back to the first one that's nearly complete and add in that 4th diamond in this space up here. So now we got to make a hole. Skeeter, thank you for the follow. A little bit of streaming, night after night, and we'll eventually get to 10,000, where I can have a little bit different setup. Okay. I forget how many rings to make this, and where did I set it? I lost the piece I was gonna add. It was right here. Oh, there it is. It's right in front of me. So we're gonna put this in here. What time is it? 9 o'clock. I want to start here. Let me look at this real quick. Where's it really? Okay, so yeah, okay. All right, well, hopefully I do this correctly, and we'll see what happens. But, oh, I was talking about large products I have laying around that I'm finishing. Saddlebags, the whole bike project, the Finnegan's Wake flag, and then I've got a large ringception project that I'm just like, I have all these rings I don't know what to do with, and I've got about 9 feet of full Persian, and we're gonna break this down into rings and then weave those rings together, and so into a big thing. It's gonna be cool. I haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna make it into yet, but hopefully it will turn out really cool. And that's like I've got a lot of materials. I've got a bunch of supplies on the way to finish a bunch of jewelry that's been sitting around and to make a bunch more. Enchantress Theodora, thank you for the follow. So I'll do those here pretty soon, and then I want to tear apart my chainmail shirts and line them, put pockets in them, make them easier to take on and off, and just make them like wearable. How long have I been doing this? Since 2000 something, 1990. 6. So like 27 years now. It is a time commitment. So far, we just figured it out. I probably have about 40 hours into these 2 sections. And that's with having a lot of the black and stainless already woven together. So, I don't, I make chainmail, I stream online, take care of my family, and I run my website. So, literally, it's all I want to do anyway. Mr. Serene, thank you for the follow. It's one of those things that I just fell in love with and have gotten better and better over time. Wow, I'm really screwing this up. I was on your FYP. Thank you, Wendy. I think that's a good place for me to be. I would like to get out there more. TikTok has by far been the platform where I've reached the most people. By a long shot. Even after they started focusing on TikTok Shop and, wanted you to pay to get your stuff out there like all the other platforms. Even with all of that in place, I'm still growing every day and getting more followers and likes and shares and whatnot. Brady, thank you for the follow. So, I know people have their complaints about the platform, but I've really only focused on doing this since October, and already I have more followers on TikTok than I do on any other platform. So, please like, share, follow, and help me become internet famous. So, it's like I was about to say I like to teach people chainmail. That's not correct. I don't teach anybody nothing, because anybody I've ever tried to teach anything has quit that thing. So, I don't do it. But you can see that I am making chainmail in my home, and if you are like me and love fantasy and Lord of the Rings and Kingdom of Heaven, right? Then you want it to be a knight when you grew up. Have I ever heard of Dylan White? No, but he might be my cousin. Elliot, thank you for the follow. It's hard to be in the chainmail community and not have heard of Dylan. Did Dylan write a book? Dylan wrote a book, right? He's not my cousin. I am familiar with him, I think. Yeah, he made a book years ago. He's famous for the garter belt weave. I did not know that. So, Hey Barb, how you doing? I do not have his chainmail book. That's never come up. I've got Karen's book. Is it right here? Hang on. Okay, this is buried. Ah! Don't fall. Logan, thank you for the follow. Lucy, Thank you for the follow. So this is Karen's book, Advanced Chainmail Jewelry Workshop, weaving with rings and scale mail. And what's the production date on this? I got this a long time ago. Blah, blah, blah. I don't see a date. Let's see here. Nothing? Am I looking in the wrong spot? How about the back of the book? No, I don't see it. There's probably a date in there somewhere. I'm just missing it. You okay? I'm doing all right. You love this book? That's cool. Awesome. Are the books worth it? I've learned what I know from the internet. I've opened this book and looked at it and said, that's cool. There's a bunch of helpful diagrams and information in here if you want to make the specific projects in here. But like dragonback weave, right? I mean, I just picked this up off the internet, probably from Mail Artisans or something. All right. Desk is getting crowded. I don't want that to fall on me. All right. Okay, so yeah, I've only looked at that book. Everything else is off the internet. And Riley, if you want like all the resources I wish I would have had when I first started, you can go to my link tree and check out the Mailworks app. It's got where to find chainmail ring manufacturers, where to find tutorials, where to find where other chainmail artists hang out, and a bunch of other stuff. And it's free, and it's there to help me get my Mailworks store out there, where I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. But it's got a great list of resources for new and veteran chainmail artists. Started last year, don't use books, buy the occasional tutorial, and mostly use YouTube and Mail Artisans. Make a chainmail miniskirt and sell it for thousands on Rodeo Drive. You're gifted a book, the same one, but you're not really using it. Yeah, I've never really used it either. I've never been like, I need to make that specific project. It's all Java. Tutorials and books are great for giving you the right ring sizes to start with, though. Yeah. So, but that's another thing, too. Your comment was skipped, but was kind of the point. Where are you at? You wrote some chainmail books. Anyway, Dylan had cancer, but he's in remission. I don't think he has the coordination to weave now. Really? That's awful. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's awful. I didn't mean to skip your comment. Yeah, I had help. I'm not gonna lie. I had help. But it works, and it's up on... Of everything, the hardest part was getting it up on Google and Apple. That was by far the most arduous of all of it. So, to make, they're not hard to make. But like, I would have to dig through my bookmarks to figure out where I got some of it, like the infrastructure, and then I don't. My friend made a chainmail skirt, but had to sell it because her parents were missionaries. That's, like, weird for a missionary to require. It was, I mean, it's holy, literally. I don't know. My missionary aunt and uncle didn't like the fact that I played Mortal Kombat with their son on my Sega Genesis when I was 9 or something. I have, you know, I don't know. People do weird things. Alright, they got sent abroad and each kid could only take one suitcase. Oh, okay, so it wasn't like a religious thing. It was, you have to cut down, become, you know, live out of a box lifestyle. That makes more sense. Not a totally irrational thing, but... I was going to say, to answer your question, I do believe that I am Facebook friends with Dylan. If he has cancer and is in remission and is unable to coordinate, you know, making chainmail. I don't know how online he is. I haven't seen a post from him in quite a while. Feel like she could have kept the skirt and just wrapped it around the suitcase. Possible. Can you imagine that, getting through airport security over and over? Yeah. So when I was on my way to my second deployment, I had about a third of a chainmail shirt in the bottom of my bag. And it's a big duffel bag, okay? And I thought, you know, they'll see a big chunk of metal. They'll probably call me back, but whatever. I drop it off. I go get in line to go through security. 20 minutes go by, and I hear my name come over the radio. I go back to the x-ray machine where I dropped off my bag, and they're like, "Sir, there's something in the bottom of your bag we have to investigate." And I was like, "I know exactly what it is." And it's a piece of armor. And so I pull out, you know, like a chunk of chainmail like this, and they're like, "What is that?" I was like, trying to mess with them. I was like, "Oh, well, I'm headed to Iraq, and the military is no longer providing body armor, so I got to make my own. So this is what they gave me." And the look on these guys' faces. This is San Antonio, which is military city, you know, in America, right? Everybody goes to retire there. And so they see military people all the time with, like, body armor and all kinds of military gear and stuff. And anyway, the look on their faces was they were horrified that, you know, the government had given me chainmail to make myself. And anyway, I was like, "No, I'm just kidding. It's just a project I'm working on." She's just a missionary restarting the Crusades. Yeah, let's not do that. Brian Kasner, thank you for the follow. END Operative, thank you for the follow. Dylan, thank you for the follow. All right, where am I at here? So, that's my funny airport security story. My unfunny airport security story is that a TSA lady stole a bracelet from me. I had a bunch of jewelry with me, and I was working on stuff as I was moving around the country, and they did let me through with that shirt, and I went and finished it while I was deployed. But when I got my stuff back from TSA, I had a bracelet missing. And I had to, you know, explain to them what was going on with all this metal in my bag. And I don't care anymore, but yeah, I've never really had a problem. Well, I've never had a problem getting chainmail on an airplane aside from that. And I've gone multiple flights since then. I've since stopped flying. I will not fly if I don't have to. They stop you for your ring storage. It looks a bit odd on x-ray. Yeah, they did that to me too. And that's how they're like, "Oh, let's look at everything." And next thing I know, I'm missing a bunch of stuff. So, curses to that lady. May she never know peace. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, thank you for your support. I'm not in anymore. I've been out longer than I was ever in. I did... How many years did I do? 7 years and 2 deployments, and I got out and went to school, and now I am, after my second deployment, I was injured, and not in combat or anything. I was injured by another soldier, right? So, but that pretty much did me in for being in the military, and then I got out, finished school, and I was working as a nurse. I was a nurse in the military, and I was a nurse as a civilian, and then finally got all my paperwork for my injury, my neck injury, and now I just make chainmail. But actually, I was cruising the Facebook pages of my units that I deployed with. So I was looking for someone, and I don't see her name in there, so I gotta go find Sergeant Petrovic. She probably got married and changed her name, and I don't know what it is, but INRGV. Thank you for the follow. So I'm taking this apart so that I can put this piece in. This side has all 4 diamonds that I wanted to put in. 3 small ones, 1 big one. Originally, I didn't have this one down here planned, but when I got it together, I was like, oh, I have room to add that on the front, so I'll just put it there, right? So we're putting this piece in on the other side of the saddlebag. So I am just making room for it. I don't know how big I need to make this space, but I'll get it started and then start figuring it out. Come on. Oh, that's been the bulk of this project has been making space for the regular stainless steel, because this was one large sheet of blackened stainless steel that was part of a shirt, and so I've been paring it down to size and then making space for the regular stainless. I could have just taken the blackened stainless and laid it over the top of the saddlebags, you know, taken out all the rings I needed and called it a day, but I didn't want to do that. Well, I did. That's how it started, and then I was like, oh, I can use up all these rings. Matt, thank you for the follow. You're a caregiver, so be right back. Do what you gotta do. I know many a caregiver. Alright. One of these will match up. There we go. Okay. So we will attach the diamonds together and then make them, weave them in with the blackened stainless, and it should look really pretty when it's done. Alright, Jill, hello from North Wales. It's quite late here. She really should be sleeping. Hello from North Wales. I've got a Welsh flag design on, in my store. Wait, do I? I just redid it the other day. Oh my gosh. It would be so perfect of me to not have my Welsh flag design on a hooded blanket. I think I do. When someone from Wales stops by. What other platforms am I streaming on right now? I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or X, and TikTok. Sassy, thank you for the roses and the lightning. It's on a blanket and a tumbler. Okay, that means I didn't do my job, because I finished the hooded blanket design the other day, like 3 weeks ago. Jamie, thank you for the follow. That is... Okay. So anyway, I have a Welsh flag themed... Welsh flag chainmail themed hoodie, or blanket, hooded blanket, and tumbler. Available in my store. Just in case someone from Wales stops by. And now someone has. And... wow. What did I do? I did something wrong here. So, yeah. I find that multi-platform streaming has been much more beneficial to me, as opposed to dedicating myself to a specific platform. What have I done here? Hang on. Oh, yeah, okay. No, I was right. I was doing that right. I am smart. There. Come on. There. No, it's not an IGP pattern. I do all of that on the computer. One day, speaking of IGP, my next goal for user interface for chainmail makers. All right, Barb, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Is an app that you can download for your computer or your phone, and it's gonna be, you upload a picture and it lays out the picture. It tells you what color rings you need, how many rings you need in each color, all the information that you would want, along with a chainmail pattern to go with the picture, just like IGP, but you know, for the what century? We're in the 21st century now. So I need to save money for tools to finish my chainmail shop down here, for my Neptunic shark suit that I want, and for an upgraded IGP, basically. Right? So please go to my store and buy my stuff. One day I'll get to all of this one day. Something's wrong over there on that side. Might be a row shy. Alrighty. Come on. Really? So anyway. So I just bought a bunch of supplies and stuff to finish a lot of stuff that I'll have for sale. And so hopefully with that I'll be able to get the tools for riveting and for anodizing and for cutting my own rings down here in my basement, so that I can be a fully functional chainmail shop and make whatever I want. An updated IGP would be nice. It absolutely would. Okay, all of these rings are from theringlord.com, and then if you want more ring manufacturers, there's I think a dozen or so other ring manufacturers listed on the Mailworks app, which you can find in my link tree for Google and Apple. Dylan's IG is Dylan White. Is he more active on there? I don't think I follow him on Instagram. I have, what do you call it? I know a number of chainmail people, and it's always hard when I follow them on multiple platforms, and their names are different from one platform for the next, but I'm pretty sure I don't follow Dylan on Instagram. But I do believe I know that I am familiar with who he is. So, Jerry and David, thank you for the follow. See if we can beat last night's record of follows. I had 42 follows in one stream. That's the most I've ever gotten. Usually it's like 5 or 6. His word. Thank you for the follow. Julie Rose looks awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the share. Yes, please tap the screen. Give me the trifecta, the whole like, follow, share. I really appreciate it. It helps me get my message out there. Spread the good word of the Church of Chainmail. And I am its humble disciple. You love my work. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. That makes it all worthwhile. I'm the first mail maker you've run across. Well, there's actually a lot of chainmailers on TikTok. Probably get more now that you followed. Yeah, probably. Razmataz is a chainmail maker. Thank you, Julie. Who else is in here that's making chainmail? Like, right, that's been commenting. There was someone else. Astrid Wolf. She was in here a little bit ago. She makes some pretty good stuff. And, alright, am I getting... I'm not getting any more comments over there, so... Amberly Furlong. She chainmails too, but you just started. Right on. Yeah, so that's one of the things I love about chainmail is that it is rare to find someone who makes it. Right? Period. Full stop. End of story. It's rare to find someone who makes chainmail. In the largest chainmail group on Facebook, there's only 15,000 people. To put that in perspective, the largest crochet group has a few million. Mike, how you doing? Am I done here? Yeah, okay. I can turn that around. Now this side. And this side's a rose short. How much? I can make chainmail roses? Oh, nice. Enchantress, thank you for the share. All right, Mike, what's going on? Words are hard. I don't have a stutter, but some reason I stop knowing how to speak. How much for saddlebag lid covers? Probably around $5,000, if I had to hazard a guess. Bungie's been dabbling for 20 years, getting back to small rings. Your eyes aren't what they used to be. How much for a rune chainmail? The thing that I have closest to a rune is this Thor's Hammer bracelet. It's got some raven's claws on there. Beautiful hammer, stamped on both sides. That is, if you want a rune specific, you let me know which rune you want, and I can get it for you. It will be a while. It'll take a while to get all the supplies for that. But, you know, whether you want a bracelet, a necklace, a whatever, you let me know. Just message me, and I will get it for you. Thank you for the share. Thank you for the follow. I think it's awesome. I thought it was pretty good. Let's see if I can get you a whole focus. See those tiny rings in there? Oh my gosh. It's black and stainless steel, you know. It's different. Yeah, it's all Byzantine. Aiden, thank you for the follow. So I use a lot of Byzantine. it is like all of these are Byzantine as well. I know more weaves than 4-in-1 and Byzantine, I promise. How long is the bracelet? From start to finish, from here, it's 9.5 inches. Let's get my bracelet measuring tool out to get a real measurement. My highly technological, it's sitting at about 8.25. Because the inside measurement of a bracelet is different. Byzantine cells, it seems to be what the people want. You took a Byzantine class? Where'd my cup go? I love Byzantine because this is my interwoven Byzantine hexagons wrapped Bubba coffee cup that, you know, if you're talking to me all wrong, I'll smash your face in. I mean, no. I will, you know, casually sip coffee out of this ridiculously large 32-ounce Bubba coffee cup, right? I've done a bunch of bottle wraps using Byzantine hexagons, and they just look so cool. You love my chainmail work. Thank you so much. There are a few weaves that you can work with 3-dimensionally, right? Japanese 4-in-1. Okay, what's the other one? I don't have another one offhand, but this is a solid structure of European 4-in-1 and elf weave, similar to what I'm working on with this saddlebag cover, right? And I'm going to redo it. I'm going to add, it's got 5 peaks. I'm going to add 1 more. I'm going to take it apart, tumble it, clean it up, and then put it back together because it's just a little too tight. And then the plan was, so I'm going to do that ringception piece with this full Persian chain that I've got, and I'm going to make this look real nice and use it as a base for my ring of ringception. That's what I'm doing with this. But Byzantine's one of those weaves, you can work with it 3-dimensionally, right? And it might not quite make sense, but you can expand it on an XYZ platform. I sell a lot of stuff. Let's see here. I just had a bunch of stuff up. This is what I have available right now. All right. Mark, thank you for the share. So the hammer is 2 textured bracelets. The skull, I've got some of those left. Like, I sold so many of those, and then I've got a few more to get rid of, and then I ordered some supplies to finish off a couple other pieces over there. But yes, I do sell my stuff, and just message me. I sell, don't let me lie. Let me clarify. On my website, you will find chainmail print items, right? These are designs that I've done on the computer. I can do a custom length for something I have on hand, right? If you need a size adjustment of a bracelet that I already have, that's fine. What I can't do is custom work. And what I mean is I'm not set up to make someone asked me about a necklace the other day. If I was to try and remake this necklace right here, right, this full Persian square wire stainless, right, I'm not set up to do that right now. Will I be in the future? One day. So tough looking, yeah. Mr. Monkey, thank you for the follow. So, yeah, one day I will do more, but as of right now, my focus is on what, a few small things that I make for sale, and then selling my artwork online, and finishing off all the rings in my basement right now. Del Rey Lady, thank you for the follow. So those are my... once I get all that done, once I finish up these somewhat large projects that I'm working on, then I'll delve into more custom work. However, there are a ton of chainmail artists out there, and if I can't make it for you, I know a bunch of people that like commissions, and I will gladly send you their direction. Essentially what I have right now are bracelets. I've got a couple of these skull bracelets. I've got a skull, a small skull, a little spacer bead, a big skull, another spacer bead, and then another small skull. And it's got they all have buckle clasps on them, except for the Thor's hammer. Right? I've got these two textured pieces, and similar, they've got a small bead up top, spacer bead, a centerpiece, and then same thing on the other side with a buckle clasp. And then the Thor's hammer that I've had up here. So, little raven's claw, hammer, it's stamped on both sides. And this one has a hook clasp. These are all pretty much the same length. I'm sorry. These are all pretty much the same length. I can give you a quick measurement. That's not how I want to measure this. I want to measure it using my handy dandy bracelet measuring stick. These are 8.5. So they can be sized up and sized down to a certain point. You're interested in the Thor's hammer? Just message me and we can hammer out the details. See what I did there? You need an 11-inch bracelet. Julie, thank you for sharing so much. Okay, that can be done. I have the stuff on hand to make that happen. So, Damon, if you just want to message me, I can make that happen. All right. See if I can get this last diamond put into place. It's Saturday night, so we might run a little longer than normal. So I try to get all my stuff done that I can, as far as dishes, taking care of the family, the pets, prepping for the next day, but, sleeping in tomorrow. So, we'll see. Yeah, 11-inch wrists, that's what he said. So I will verify all of that through, he'll message me and we'll make sure that that's the right measurement and that he gets what he needs. So I have the stuff on hand to do that. Alrighty. Okay. Ever May, thank you for the follow. Excuse me. I was a row off, so on this side. You also work in chainmail? Am I using steel? It's hard to work with. I am using stainless steel, blackened and regular. How long do you recommend learning new styles and patterns? Or how do I recommend learning new styles and patterns? Okay. The Thor's hammer, I've got 2 of them. It's $75 for the Thor's hammer bracelet, and you know, just message me for sizing or anything. Learning new weaves and styles and patterns. Okay. So there's a lot of basic stuff that can be learned fairly quickly. I don't have those in a listed in a repository somewhere. But the first thing I'd do is I would go to my Linktree and download the Mailworks app, right? And start digging through all the tutorial references for stuff that looks like you can do it, right? So things like European 4-in-1, 6-in-1, half Persian, 3-in-1, 4-in-1, full Persian, box weave, Byzantine. You can get Chainmail Joe's kit. That's a great kit. And actually, I finally knuckled down and contacted Chainmail Joe and added them to as a ring manufacturer on the Mailworks app. And that was something that I needed to get off my to-do list. So, we've got a number of ring manufacturers on there now. I think I've got most of the places that you can find free tutorials listed. If it's out there, I don't know about it. But the ones I know of are listed, so. Okay. Trying to think of other basic weaves to get started with, because you start with the basics and start integrating them together, and you know, next thing you know, you're doing things like it's helm, rondo a la Byzantine, helm, rondo a la Byzantine, Japanese 12-in-2, and then the reverse, right? Yeah, box is a good starter. Chainmail Joji. Okay, so I buy my rings. All my rings right now are from the Ring Lord. These are the ones that I'm using up. The Ring Lord has had some quality control issues, and so I'm not currently. You can buy in bulk cheap rings from them, right? Just know that the quality may be lacking. Anything new I've bought from joshdiliberto.com. I don't know if JPL3 is a beginner weave, just because so many people have the hardest time with it. I don't find it hard. Spiral weave, that's a pretty good beginner weave. Double spiral, and doubled spiral. Spiral 4-in-1, yeah. But JPL3 is one of those that I see so many people just struggle with. I don't think I'd classify it as a beginner weave, but it is a good weave to learn. Do I have? I don't have an example of that. Only's Baron, thank you for the follow. So used to buy from them. Yeah, so like I said, all the new stuff that I bought has been from Josh DiLiberto, but I would order from any of the other ring manufacturers listed on the Mailworks app. There's another 12 on there outside of TRL. I think too many people try JPL with the wrong size rings. Self-correcting if you use the correct AR. I've never had an issue with it. So, alright, barrel weave is super beginner friendly. Garter belt is good. Dragon scale is not too bad. There was Astrid Wolf was streaming making dragon scale earlier, and I got to hang out for a little bit. While she was doing that. But yeah, there's a bunch of beginner-friendly weaves listed right there. And I know it might be in the file section of the main chainmail page, where they have them all listed out as what's beginner, what's advanced, intermediate, what's advanced, blah, blah, blah. I can't think of anywhere else where something like that would be listed. And it's all personal preference, for the most part. But Lori, thank you for the follow. Did I screw that up? No, I did not. Come here. Do what I want you to. There. So, Tony, thank you for the follow. It's like, if you want to start out, get yourself the Mailworks app, and then get some rings, find some tutorials, hang out with people who make chainmail, and that's really one of the things too that's helped me is seeing what other people do and what they come up with is, just blown my mind, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to think a little bit more about certain projects and make them super overly complicated so that they can be something unique, It's one of those things where if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room kind of thing. It's like if you're the best chainmail artist in the room, you're probably an inspiration to others. And I'm not. I'm okay. I am okie dokie at chainmail. There are people who have forgotten more about chainmail than I will ever know. And they are brilliant and amazing and mostly really cool humans. You want to see the cube? You want to learn how to learn that? It's not hard. They're awesome. Cubes are fun, but the first couple layers are super wobbly, yeah. What am I doing? I need to do this. Mr. Egger, thank you for the share. Dave, thanks for the share. If you recall correctly, you started with Japanese 4-in-1. Oh, like when you first got started making chainmail, that's what you started with? Nice. There was a streamer, goes by the name of Cinnabar, and I have not seen him stream in quite some time. Very nice guy. And he used a lot of Japanese 4-in-1. And that was the first time I'd ever seen anyone use it for anything, really. So that was really my first exposure to it as something other than just a weave I had not tried. Come here. But yeah, you start with the cubes, start with Japanese 4-in-1, and then it's, how to explain it? Japanese 4-in-1, it's, you know, one layer of Japanese 4-in-1, and then you shift the second layer over of Japanese 4-in-1 so that the first and second layer integrate into each other. And then the third layer will match the first, the fourth layer will match the second, and so on. And as you build this, you know, stack, right? This is one of those things that it doesn't have to be a cube, right? You can make an XYZ axis out of it, make it multiple shapes. You can interlock two cubes together. Excuse me. All right. Helm chain. That's a good beginner one. I've never tried making chainmail out of Kevlar. I don't know how you would. I don't know how you would make Kevlar rings. It's got you interested? Dragon Tail. I don't know if I've ever done Dragon Tail. It's for the symmetrical cube variant. There's also another one that doesn't shift over. It just insets between the main layers. I don't know how that works, Razmataz. Thank you. Okay, so if you want to make a chain like what I'm making right here, the place I recommend everyone start is go to my link tree and download the Mailworks app, and there you'll find chainmail ring manufacturers, tutorials, or where to find tutorials, where to find other people that make chainmail, and where they hang out, and a whole bunch of other resources. Doesn't look the same on all 6 sides, but it does look more like a cube than the offset pattern. I don't know if I've seen that. Am I sure it's not ramen? Yes. Am I gonna? No, I'm not gonna rivet these. My rivet setup is on. It's in the works. Someone has tagged Razmataz. I've got a pulse arc welder for welding rings together. Oh my goodness. The anodizing setup is the next piece of the puzzle that I'm going to get next. And then the riveting setup is coming. I've already started piecing that together. And then the ring cutting setup will be on its way soon. So hopefully, I hope to have all that done by next year. There's a glass blower that makes Japanese 4-in-1 pieces too. You don't think Kevlar would be possible though? I don't know how you would make Kevlar rings, but I know I am familiar with a glass blower on TikTok that makes 4-in-1 pieces, and I love those. The chains are going to be lids for my saddlebags. So this is going over the top of the saddlebag for my Road King, and that's going to be the front, and it's all going to be secured using leather lace or leather cord. And okay, so Whoville Hater. I order very little from the Ring Lord anymore. So because the business has changed hands a few times, the quality control has had some issues. They've recently pledged to fix those issues, but chainmail is not, from what I understand, chainmail rings are not their concern. They have some government contracts that they're working with, and this is secondhand word-of-mouth stuff that I've only read or heard about through the grapevine. I don't know. But their quality control just shit the bed, basically. So, there's a couple more things that I will order from them that they have that I need to finish projects. But is TRL one of the big Machine Euro 4-in-1 makers? They have... What is the... Okay, so TRL and a guy named Lorenzo started a business called Mailtech, and Mailtech is the 4-in-1 welded chainmail maker that does Neptunic's shark suits chainmail, and that's the only one I know of. So I think it's Mailtech as a separate company. It might be like a subsidiary of the Ringlord. I don't know. So I don't know how all that panned out in the end. I do know that I don't know what I'm doing right now. What is going on here? I'm so confused. No. So there are a dozen other manufacturers to order rings from, at least, and making my own gives me a certain level of independence that I can control the quality. So, also it means that I can make rings for riveting. So, think it would be cool to have a chainmail vest made out of Kevlar. Yeah, but Tony, how do you? I don't know how. I don't know anything about the manufacturing process of Kevlar, and I don't know how you would make rings out of it. Like, I've worn Kevlar vests. So, would it be cool? Yeah. How would you do it? I have no idea. Mailtech is definitely still around. You've heard Lorenzo might also make the welding stations if you ask nicely. Yeah, Mailtech makes all the Neptunic shark suit stuff. I don't know if their website's been updated, but last time I checked, they made like chandeliers and curtains and stuff, and had a bunch of really cool products that they made. They had a pillow, an actual chainmail covered pillow. Best I can do is a chainmail cover for a pillow. This here, I'll stop making their ring welding stations. Yeah, I've never had a ring welding station from TRL. I've got my little setup over here. It works, but that was one of the steps that I was like, okay, I have a welder. I've been doing this for 27 years. Let me go ahead and just finish out and make myself like a full-on capable shop. TRL did a lot of things after the business started changing hands. So, the unforgivable sin was, for me, was deleting the Ringlord forum. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm not... That was a god-awful thing to do, so... Thank you for sharing your gift and ideas, sir. Absolutely! Anything I can do to help spread the good word of the Church of Chainmail. I am but a humble disciple, and I, what's the word? Trying to make a joke and I can't even think of the word. I meditate all day and weave my rings and make my wares. All right. Yeah, there were a number of ring sizes and stuff discontinued when they got taken over, so I'm not surprised that the welding stations, I can't imagine a lot of people bought them. Most people don't weld their rings. Most people don't rivet their rings. Most chainmail is butted mail, right? And it works for 99% of anything we're doing with it today. The Church of Chainmail burns incense. It smells like metal and oil. It's just metal and coolant fluid just burning. Yeah. Is that all the way down? Okay, we're gonna put some of this back. We've taken too much. I need to get this out of the way so I can finish putting this in here. You're thinking of that? You were thinking that Kevlar is metal? No, Kevlar is a cloth. It's a very dense cloth, and I'm all for a Kevlar chainmail vest. I just don't know how you would make rings out of Kevlar. Not saying it's not possible. I have no idea how you would going about fabricating that. Like, if you were to tell me you wanted rings of carbon fiber, okay, I can. That seems way over the top. Well, it actually seems awesome. But, like, I have no idea how you would go about doing it. Which reminds me of another project that I have in my mind. Right? And it's, I'm going to make a bunch of rings from different hardwoods. Right? This is going to be expensive. Okay, so I need money for the rest of my setup for my shop. The Neptunic shark suit. What was the third thing I wanted to get? There was a third thing that I mentioned earlier, but now I need this a bunch of hardwood to make rings out of, and then I'm gonna make an inlay out of it somehow. I think Jen from Steampunk Garage is the only mail maker that you know that actually welds a lot of their pieces. I know a few people that weld. I've got a welder. I have some welded pieces. A lot more of my stuff is going to be welded in the future, just because it's a level of quality that I can make something. Welded closures are going to be, you know, they're just going to be better than butted mail, right? Yeah, chainmail's not bulletproof, and unless you make a suit from like this Japanese 4-in-1 cube weave, right? Like this thick all over, it's never ever going to be bulletproof. Pretty much everything tears through chainmail. It's bad defense against piercing or thrusting movements. And it is what it is. Chainmail, however, makes great defense against like slashing, or if, you know, something grazes you, or shrapnel. It's great defense against shrapnel. And it's good at stopping paintballs that are aimed at your junk. I learned this from the internet. And it's also great for making really just stupid cool shit. Right? So like, I would love for it to be bulletproof, but it's just never gonna be a thing. Let's remove this ring. But makes beautiful jewelry, and if you like heavy pieces, it feels great. That is, I'm 100% in agreement with that. Well, thank you, Christian. Don, thank you for the share. I don't know how much longer we're going to be up here, but I want to finish this, getting this set in. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. You want to talk about like bulletproof armor? I was gonna say there's a couple different companies. I'm trying to think of the one off the top of my head. Any type of like ceramic plate armor. Those are not fun to wear. Honestly, after wearing bulletproof armor in the military for 2 years while I was deployed, I'd rather just get shot at this point. I don't want to carry that crap ever again. I'm kidding, but only slightly. I need to remove this one. You're wearing your copper JPL3 bracelet and spiral HP 3-in-1. Tonight feels nice and weighty. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't put my jewelry on today, but I actually took my ring off and put it above the sink when I was washing dishes, and for some reason my son decided that it was his mood ring. And it was he's got like a bunch of rings from his grandpa after his grandpa passed, and he had my ring in his bag of rings. He's like, "Oh, I thought it was my mood ring." I'm like, yeah, no, buddy. Neither me nor your mom are putting your mood ring up above the sink while we do dishes. So, but you can put your mood ring up there when you do dishes next. 'Cause that'll happen. Oh, speaking of him, I had to lay into him today. He was pushing up the TV stand that his TV sits on in his room, and his TV has been like sliding backwards over time, and finally it fell off the TV stand backwards just a little bit. It's like, no, dude, you're not going to have any screens whatsoever if you're not going to, respect them a little bit, right? Like, I'm not asking much here, but don't kick your TV over. Seems like a reasonable request at 9 years old. I wanted so badly to take it all away, but yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge is right. All right. This last little section here, and we'll have this one done. Wall mounted TV. There's a reason I didn't. There's a what do you call it? A furnace return or air conditioning return, like right where I would put the TV. And it's not in his like personal room. It's in a game room, and I don't know how much longer he's gonna have the game room. But the last time I tried to wall mount, or I did mount the main living room TV on the wall. But if you look behind the TV, there's like 40 drill holes where I was trying to find where to put the mount. That was a ridiculous escapade. And yes, I have a stud finder, and I've totally done stuff like that before, but... Oh, I did screw that up. Okay, hang on. I must be getting tired or something. My eyes aren't working. Anyway, there's... yeah, okay. Didn't remove a whole, like, row. You know that feeling? Stud finders fail at weird times. You resort to knocking on the wall a lot. I mean, it wasn't just that. Like, the return the, the central air furnace pipes were getting in the way. So they would register as a stud, and I'd drill a hole and I'd hit some metal, and it's like, or I'd, drill and nothing was there. It was fun. It's fine. That's why his other TV was not mounted, or any other TV in the house. So, Hazy New England, how you doing tonight? You can absolutely ask me anything you want. So, what I'm using right now are rings from the Ring Lord. If you go to my link tree, there is the Mailworks app, and inside the Mailworks app is 12 or 13 other chainmail ring manufacturers, and you can pick from any of them, as well as, you can go to the Ring Lord too. But have I ever made a chainmail wedding dress? No, I have not. I have not. I don't know people in real life, so like that's an opportunity that I would never get. I've seen some chainmail dresses. How are you tonight, Snackaholic? You're good, thank you. Hope your night is going well. Yeah, you're absolutely welcome, Hazy. Download the app, and it's got all the resources I would have wanted when I first started, and it's just there to help, new people and veterans keep track of all the resources for chainmail that are out there, and help me promote my store. And sleepy but you can't sleep, huh? I've had those nights. Donaldson, thank you for the share. Hazy, thank you for the follow. Where am I at here? Alright. Like, adding this modified elf weave seam is cool. Like, it looks awesome when it's done, but it's a giant pain in the butt. So it'll be worth it in the end, I keep telling myself, as I continually make this project more complicated than necessary. Alright. That's a problem. But not my fault. There we go. Well, your body doubled off you enough that you have 2 to 3 panels done for this neck piece. Nice. Nice work. Alright. I am almost done here myself with this section. Excuse me. Larry, thanks for the follow. I need 2 of these. I'm working with 16 gauge rings right now. 16 gauge 5/16 and 16 gauge 1/4 inch. I had there. For those wondering like what ring size I'm using, need an understanding of gauge size. That's a bad comparison. Here. There. These are 20 gauge. These are 16. Hold up 2 rings that look almost exactly the same. Yeah, this is pretty heavy duty, right? It was originally a shirt, and I couldn't get the rings from the Ring Lord anymore, so I am cannibalizing it for my motorcycle project. .16 is generally the biggest most chainmails work with. I've got some 12 gauge around here somewhere. in stainless, no less. And that's the most ridiculous ring I've tried to use ever. It's a giant. Well, if I had the right pliers, it would be a lot easier, but there aren't too many ring manufacturers that do 14 or thicker. Yeah. Which, you know, makes sense. And another reason why I want my own ring cutting setup is I can go and make my own ring or coil making setup, wire coiling setup. That's not hard. It's the cutting and the fluid and keeping everything clean to where if I needed thicker rings, thicker gauge rings, I can just go and make some. I don't. Another part of the reason why I want that capability is because of just having ordered rings that I cannot use, and wasting time going back and forth with the ring lord, you know. It's like I don't want to be a dick, but if I'm paying for someone else to make the rings, I need the rings to at least be functional. Jan, thank you for the follow. Mel, thank you for the follow. So if I make my own rings and I screw it up, well, then that's okay. I'm okay with that happening. Alright, just a couple more rings here. Hey, Sean. Is it Sean or Scon? How do you pronounce that? You don't have to tell me. It's fine. Thank you for the follow. People's usernames are... It's Sean. Okay, that's my name, too. His name is my name, too. Whenever we go out, the people always shout, there goes Sean, shake up Shingleheimer shit. Roughneck 2023, thank you for the follow. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. Which means it probably wasn't important, but... Oh, yeah, so if I, you know, if I make my own rings and then screw them up, that's one thing, but... You learn something when you're the one to mess up the rings. The only thing you learn when someone else messes up the rings is not to buy from them. Hey, babe, how you doing? All right. Yeah. It's like there are still some things that I will buy from TRL. I'm not abandoning them completely. However, like, if I can get it somewhere else, I probably will. And if I, you know, eventually I'll be able to make 90% of what I need, so that's my goal anyway. Alright, let me... And I'm okay, you know, like, a lot of the rings that I had that I couldn't use at first, I got a tumbler and fixed most of them. I just bought some tumbling media, right? So, like, if I get some crap from them, it's not... The issues that I've ran into in the past most likely won't be a problem. My biggest complaint was a bunch of... I don't know. Do you not know these people? I don't know. The internet's weird. And internet bots are weird. What was I saying? I don't know, something. Okay, my biggest issue was I spent a lot of money on titanium for a very specific project. And when I got the rings, when I opened up the rings to start making some earrings that I was working on that match my logo, my picture, right? That the anodization just disappeared off 2/3 of the ring. And so that was like the last straw for a while. I didn't order for a long time. Only thing you got from Tiro was titanium, and it was not a great batch. I got one batch of really good titanium, and then I got several batches of like really bad, problematic chainmail. All right, let me grab the saddlebag, and I will show this. How much does a full set weigh? Set of what? What are we talking about? We're talking about this saddlebag cover that I'm working on. How much does it weigh? I don't know. I don't have a scale big enough to do this right now. All right. Here we go. All right. There's the front for all the people. So I can turn off the overhead camera and just have people look at it like a normal. Okay, so there's the front, right? And there is the 3 diamonds going down the top of the saddlebag, right? For everyone on the clock app. Let me reset this. There's the front diamond we just put on, right? And then there's the 3 we had following it. And I mean, it is armor, right? But it's not. It's for my saddlebag. It's not to wear, and it's decorative. It's quasi-functional, but also, like, I'm not going to be putting it on myself. It's a whole chainmail themed bike is what I'm working on. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. You had a friend back in the day that taught you chainmail? Right on. I too had a friend that taught me chainmail. He was my uncle, and I saw him doing it when I was 14, and I was like a very impressionable kid who thought my uncle was very cool. I have 2 very cool uncles. Well, I only have 2 uncles. No. I got my mom's side of the family. One taught me guitar, one taught me chainmail, and they're very good uncles. And yeah, I saw my uncle making chainmail when I was 14, and I was like reading all kinds of sci-fi fantasy books, and was big into swords and swinging swords with sticks that I found when I was little, and you know, that I just took off from there. And I've knuckled down in the last, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years now, and started just really expanding my knowledge of chainmail and what I do with it. And so now I've got, for the last 5 years, I've ran mailworks.com, where I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, print items like this, right? There's a big, it's getting cold, there's a big snug hoodie that it's huge. It's lined with micro fleece. It's really warm, so check that out. And I've been, just recently, my big recent project is using up all the rings that I have in the basement and transitioning to other ring manufacturers away from the Ring Lord, just because of the quality control issues they've had. They've made a pledge to fix the quality control issue. I haven't heard any good development so far, but as soon as I start hearing little birdies chirping about how good TRL is again, then, I'll be like, yeah, good to go, great. But I've had like I just said, I had a big order of chainmail, of titanium rings rather, that was not workable. And that was probably like the last thing I ordered from them in any significant amount. So anyway, like I said, we've got the 4 diamonds on the saddlebag, right? This area still needs to be touched up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure this back edge to the saddlebag, and then we'll size out the other 3 sides as we go along. I got some more black leather cord coming from Tandy to secure it. And then on this other saddlebag, we'll finish, or this other cover, we'll finish mirroring it to the first one. But that's pretty much just, what do you call it? That's pretty much just where we're at with this project right now. And coming up soon, we'll be doing the bib for the gas tank, leather bib with chainmail on top of it. What do you call it? We're doing the toolkit, and then depending on my tax return, we'll see if I can get the front and rear fender, the side panels, and the gas tank all dipped in a chainmail design, hydro dipped, right? Thank you, Diane. Advertised leggings more on TikTok. Saw some other makers advertising a different brand that had a very popular chainmail pattern. I've changed up my advertising. I've moved, like, I don't pay for direct advertising anymore. I've simply found people that make content and been like, let's see if we can make something happen. I've met some really interesting people that way. I've got a guy that's going to do some product photography for me. And, you know, I've paid in blood for advertising on other platforms. So, like, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm only going to just use other people who can review the product, people who have a physical copy of the product in hand, right? And work out deals with them. So I'm getting there, and this is, hopefully this will work out well. So other than that, it's just me doing this, saying, hey, I need to buy a Neptunic shark suit. Please, pretty please, go buy something for my store. I need $7,500. Go buy my stuff so that I can get a shark suit that I'll never wear with sharks or in the water. All right. For everyone following along, please go, if you're interested in learning more about chainmail, please go check out Mailworks. The Mailworks app, there's a link to it for Google and Apple in the link tree in my bio. It's got a bunch of resources that I would have wanted when I first got started. If you like what you're seeing and want to see more of it, please go to mailworks.com and check out the chainmail themed apparel and accessories that I sell. So that way I can continue to fund my ring habit. And Lies, you wear it for 50 more follows? Wait, what will I wear for 50 more follows? Oh, a Neptunic shark suit? Yeah. No, I probably wouldn't take it off. But you'll never, I don't know. You'll never see me, you'll never see me wearing it with sharks. For sure. Yeah, so please go check out the Mailworks app. Check out mailworks.com. And I have some more stuff to do before bedtime, so I've got to go. You've all been wonderful. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the follows and the shares and the likes. And I can't thank you all enough for just hanging out with me for a while. So you all have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll probably be on tomorrow night doing some more work. We'll see what happens. All right. You guys all have a wonderful evening. Bye. Push the off button. Do the button. There you go. All right. And for anyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, you all have a wonderful evening. Check out mailworks.com. Go download the Mailworks app if you want to learn more about chainmail. Everything I just